to the Gopt channel. Today I'll be teaching you how to make flatbread. With this flatbread, you can make different type of lunchbox recipes, e.g. burrito, a wrap, so many others. I'll be using my Gopt stove together with different ingredients like flour, thyme, salt, and cooking oil. Let's get started.
Start by adding all the dry ingredients into the bowl. Then add your oil. Scrape off all the oil from the sides of the bowl. Mix with hot water. Make sure it's boiling hot water. Add a little at a time, like this. Then mix. It's better to add a little at a time because you can control the water. Once you add too much liquid, it's difficult to rectify the situation. But if you add a little at a time, like what I'm doing, you can add more water if you need be. For example, right now, I can see that there's some dried flour at the bottom. Okay. So I need to add a teaspoon of hot water. Now I added a teaspoon. And then I'm mixing. Mix everything thoroughly. Now I lightly flour my surface with flour. Then take my dough and then I place it on the floured surface. And I'm going to gently press the dough with flour so that it stops being too sticky. Now we begin to knead the dough. Take the sides, you press them inside, take the sides, you press them inside. You're folding, it's like you're folding in the flour, the sides you fold them inside. You have to mix the dough for about 5 minutes, kneading the dough like this. Here I'm just pressing with my knuckles into the dough. I add a little bit of flour. If you find that the dough becomes sticky again, then keep kneading it. Here I'm just bringing the sides inside and then I fold them inside. Keep kneading the dough. Kneading the dough helps develop the gluten, which is a network of proteins that gives the bread its structure and elasticity. So the result is that it will become light and airy. So keep kneading like this. It will improve its texture. It also makes you develop the flavor for the dough. It helps relax the gluten strands as well. So it's important that you knead the dough thoroughly. Once you feel that the dough is nicely kneaded, take a plastic wrap and then you cover it so that it doesn't dry out whilst it's proofing. Then I just wrap it and then you set it aside. You set it aside for 20 to 30 minutes so that it can proof, it can relax. It's important to wait for 20 to 30 minutes. Now this is my meat. Chop it up like this. Normally I use munyefu. No one wants to eat munyefu in our house, so we normally use that for lunchtime mainly. Now I'm cutting my tomatoes like this. Just be careful, the knife is quite big. So you cut up your tomato into slices so that it's easy to add on the wrap. Once I'm done, I set my tomatoes aside. I'll use them later. Then I'll start making my meat. Start cooking my meat. I switch on my Gopt stove. Then I add my oil, like what I'm doing. Then I wait for my oil to heat up a little bit. So this is a Gopt stove. It's quite an advanced stove. It uses solar system to cook. Right now in my neighborhood, to connect electricity, it is $2,700 per household. So it's quite impossible for us. We just thought it was better for us to invest in a solar system rather than spend it on an electricity. $2,700 was enough to buy a solar system, a 5 kV solar system. So we opted for a solar system. The solar is quite reliable. On the days that it's raining, we use that 2-plate gas stove when the battery is not charging quite fast. But we can count the number of days when there is no sun in Zimbabwe. There are very few, maybe less than 10. So we use our Gopt stove. It's quite fast, it's modern, it's contemporary. If you look at it, it's aesthetically pleasing. It's very beautifully designed. So right now I'm frying my chicken, as you can see. Once it starts to show some signs of brownness, then I add my spices. I really don't like this chicken to be too tough, so I don't like to fry it until it's all brown. Remember, it's munyefu. If you keep browning it too much, it'll be too tough to chew. So I add my spices. This is my paprika, my black pepper, my salt, and then I keep frying the spices to make the aroma come up from the spices. I wish you could smell it from here. It smells so beautiful. Then I mix my chicken, just frying it to make sure it's nicely done. So these pots that I'm using, I bought them here locally in Zimbabwe. So many people are afraid that if you get an induction cooker, it's quite difficult to get the pots. No, in Zimbabwe we're lucky enough that as a nation we use a lot of steel pots, so the kango is quite compatible. So even these pots I bought them locally and very affordable. I think it was the whole set was $50 for about 12 pieces. Yes, about 12 pots. Yeah, they're quite affordable and they are readily available. Almost every kitchen shop that you find in town, it actually has these pots. So you can fry them like what I'm doing. Now it's ready. I close my pot and then I set it aside. By now my dough has relaxed. Now I'm moving back to my dough. I take out my dough and then I flour my surface again with some flour to make sure the surface is not sticky. Then I unwrap my plastic from my dough. The good thing about plastic is that it doesn't stick, it doesn't have some residue when you take it off from the dough. You can cover it with plastic, you can cover it with a dish towel if you don't like to use plastic. Now you just knead it a little bit. You will need this rolling pin that moves separately. You see this middle part is pinned separately from the handles. So that's the type of rolling pin you require, this one. It's important that you use this one if you're a beginner. It's very easy to use. Now you just form some a dough-like shape, a circle-like shape. Like this. Then you start cutting it. Try to cut same sizes, right round, right through it. Now once you cut it, you take your piece and then you start folding it inside to form a circle like this. You need to form a ball shape like this. Then you set it aside. You take another one and then you start wrapping it again. Flour the surface. You flour it, dust it with more flour, and then you start pulling top, going under, forming a circle in your hand, forming a ball-like shape in your hand. This is the size of a golf ball size, so just try to aim for that type of a size. You place it aside. And I'm just going fast. Now I'm just going faster. I'm wrapping my dough like this, making sure it forms round, making sure it looks like a ball. Stretch the outer, tuck it inside. Continue doing it. Now that all my dough has been shaped into a ball size, set it aside. I cover the balls that I'm not working on with a plastic so that they don't dry out during the process where I'm rolling out the dough. So now I press my dough right round until I have a flat shape, disc-like shape. You press the sides with your thumbs and your palm, with your fingers and your palm against your palm. You press it right round, like that, pressing it right round. Once you do this, the ball flattens out into a circle-like shape. Then you start rolling. Make sure you're rolling from top to bottom and let the rolling pin spin it on its own. And you dust the surface with more flour and then you start rolling from top to bottom. Once you start doing that, you find out that the dough starts rolling on its own, it spins on its own right round. Once it stops spinning, it means there's no more flour beneath it. Just add a little bit of flour and starts rolling again. Keep rolling until it doesn't want to be rolling again. It stops spinning on its own. Even if you put flour and then you want to roll it, when it stops rolling, it simply means it's thin enough to be thin enough. So you set it aside like this. Keep rolling it like this, top to bottom. Make sure that your rolling pin is touching the top and then also the bottom. Once you do this, the flatbread will start rolling, spinning on its own. Now it's ready. Set it aside. Let's do another one so that it's easy. This time I'm going to fast forward my video so that you can see it much more quickly. You press the sides the way I'm doing it. You press the sides, put some flour on the surface, then you start rolling the dough. You're rolling it top to bottom, like that. Once it stops spinning, it means there's no flour beneath the dough. Add a little bit more and then you keep rolling it. It's quite simple. You can make a lot of rotis. I'll do another video on how you can make a lot of it and then you can freeze them and use them for later. You can just store them in the fridge. Once you are ready, you can just pull them out and then you can make your wrap. So on the day that you're free, you can bulk make a lot of it and then you freeze them in the freezer. I'll do a video on that. For now, these are going to be fresh rotis. They're very yummy. You lift it, add a bit of flour, and you start rolling again. Once it stops, like this one, stops moving, even after adding flour, it means it's thin enough. Set it aside, dust a little bit of flour before you start rolling. Press it, dust it with flour again, put it on the flouring board and then you start rolling. Start rolling and you're rolling and you're spinning it. It's quite simple. In other countries, most people start doing this process as young as 5 years old. So now I'm back on using my Gopt stove. I switch it on. It's quite fast. And then let it heat up a little bit. I add my dough and then I start pressing it inside. So pressing it helps it have bubbles. So those bubbles makes some brown spots at the bottom. It's beautiful flavor. It tastes very, very yummy. So I press and I press onto the dough. I press several times, pressing it. Then I flip it. Then I keep pressing again. Once you start seeing those bubbles, it means everything is cooking perfectly. Just keep pressing the sides. Keep pressing the sides. And then I flip it. So you see those brown spots? It's everywhere. Where I was pressing, there's that brown spot. Keep pressing like that. Keep pressing it like that. So you don't have to cook it too much. I think it's right for me. Then I add another one. See, it's already popping up. You flip it, then you turn the other side and keep pressing it. You keep pressing the sides, then keep adding another one. You keep pressing it, sides like this. Flip it, and then you start pressing it again. See those bubbles coming out? And it is cooking perfectly. Then it's ready for me. I take it out. I add some oil, a little bit of oil, some margarine, some butter on it to make it really soft. Then start wrapping it. I cut from the center going downwards like a radius. Add my mayonnaise. I add my mayonnaise like this. Once I finish adding my mayonnaise, I take some chicken. I put it on the quarter. It's a quarter of the circle. You add the chicken, another quarter, you add the lettuce, and then another quarter you add the onions, and then another quarter you add the tomatoes. Then you start wrapping everything. Let me show you again. And you cut from the center going downward. And you put the mayonnaise. You put your mayonnaise. Then you add your sweet chili. I love sweet chili. And then you spread it around so that it's evenly distributed. Then I take some chicken, put it in a quarter of it. I take my lettuce, I add, then I take my onions, I add, and then I put my tomato, and then I add. Then I start wrapping everything together. And that's it. That's how you make a wrap. This is how it looks. Very delicious, very soft, very fresh. It's an easy snack. Go to during the weekends, during lunchtime. You can pack it in a lunch box. It's very easy to make, very quick to make. So here are my children enjoying themselves.